Hey everyone, welcome to the Oasis podcast. I'm your host, Miss AJ. Thanks for tuning in. An oasis is something that provides refuge, relief, or a pleasant contrast, and that is exactly what you will find tuning into the Oasis podcast. This is a space where I and special guests will be cultivating intentional and honest conversations about life's journey. Subscribe everywhere you listen to podcasts and watch us on YouTube now. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode with your favorite, Mr. Chad Scott.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you again. You know that the people love you. You know what I'm saying? And we be having the convos. We stay in IGDMs. I'll be like, oh my gosh, look, we gotta talk about this. So this was something that actually been on my to-do list for a while. It's about circling the block, right? Spinning the block. And I would love to hear your thoughts on it because there's different ways that people spin the block over this past, year or two. We've seen celebrity couples do it. So it's something that looks like people are kind of like, oh, all right, thinking about doing it again. But I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on it. But before we do that, let the people know who you are if they've never heard of you before.
What's going on, people? Thanks again for having me. Chad Scott here. Life and relationship coach is the moniker, the label, but I'm just an accountability partner because I feel like once you take accountability, that's when you see breakthrough. So I'm more focused on that part. But yeah, that's where I'm at, and I'm happy to be here to talk about spinning the block.
In the block. Now, full transparency, I've done this in the past.
Mm-hmm.
0 stars for me.
Okay.
However, I was much younger, and and of course, I didn't have the knowledge that I have now. However, with that knowledge, I still feel it's very low on my to-do list. Like it's not something that I would want to revisit because I think there's so much nuance to it.
Okay.
Right? So let's inform the people who don't know what that is. Circling the block, spinning the block. What exactly is that?
Well, it's about having an intimate experience with someone that some reason it didn't work out. Yeah, people say break or breaking up. Mm-hmm. And then now, as time passed, you want to now touch the waters and see, now that I miss you, we care about each other, can we do this love thing one more time and do it right?
Mm-hmm. So, perfect definition. So I think also within that, that varies, right? There could be you and I dated, literally went on 1 or 2 dates, and it was like, and then there's we were together for years, and maybe wrong time, you know what I mean? And things didn't work out. So it's a huge range of what that could look like. And I think, we'll talk about it a little later, but I think that's a huge factor in if you should consider it or not. So let's take a look back. So we've seen this recently with, was it Nelly and Ashanti?
Yeah.
And I think J-Lo and what's his name, Matt? What? Don't get me the line. That's his name.
Ben Affleck.
Child, see, I was about to say Matt Damon. Ben Affleck. Those are the two that I can remember, but Jen and Ben, they've been going for. They've been just
they keep on spinning.
Got married, divorced, married again, divorced. Now they back together. But Nelly and Ashanti, they were together for a while, and then they separated for a long time. And from what we know, they're still together. They had a whole baby. They got married. So in our eyes, that looks successful.
Yeah.
And in our eyes too, maybe the J-Lo situation doesn't look as promising. But who knows, right? We don't know. Only time can tell. So in your thoughts, looking at those relationships, what are your thoughts about them and them coming back together?
Well, once again, it's about, shout out to them. They decided that there's something there that they have unfinished business, whatever that looked like. And for some people, it's an ongoing cycle. For some people, we got it back, like Nelly and Shanti. We got married, did the kid thing. We never did it on the first go around. But once again, is now we have to dissect it about what's in place this time around. What is some things or some ways we worked on to make sure that this is more successful of completion, or whatever that is. So there's no regrets if this don't work out again.
Exactly, exactly. And in your, in your private life or in your practice and with your clients, have you seen, people who try to spin the block again, and how has that turned out? Because do people really even give it that much thought for real?
No, right? So what happens when most people do is they get caught up in nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't want to, the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. So a lot of that is you familiar with that person already.
Yeah.
And you don't really want to start over or start new. Or you had a couple of bad experiences. You're like, oh, it's crazy outside. Let me
Mm-hmm.
go back what I know, right? Because now they realize they're looking around and I'm like, this is different than I thought. It's not working as fast as they thought as far as moving on. Or finding someone they feel worthy of. So this is where I go back to it's almost like the people that watch Marvel with Thanos. When
Mm-hmm.
Thanos had a line with Captain America and them came back for him, be like, listen, look at you. Couldn't live with your regrets. And now you're back with me. So yes, that happens a lot of times. Sometimes it's not really far as we see some growth here. It's more about I'm familiar. I know this person. We have history. We may have a kid together. You know, like it's other factor in there. Like, all right, this make me the easiest choice, but may not be the best.
Those are all facts. And again, from personal experience, don't do like I did. Anyway, but I could say I was young, but then I'm thinking back to it. I was just like, I was in my 20s. Okay. Definitely didn't give that much thought to it. You think you do, but in hindsight, you did it. You know what I mean? It's the one of those situations of like, okay, y'all broke up. It's been like literally a couple of months,
Yeah.
maybe 2 months, 2 months, maybe 3 months. And then that person hits you up again, and then you're thinking in your head, okay, we're gonna consider it, we gonna go slow about it. That ain't how that shit goes.
Mm-hmm.
It just does not go that way, right? And you think you address, I think a lot of times we address what caused that last breakup,
Yeah.
but not address the root of the things that were actually going on to cause the breakup,
Yeah.
you know? And also just looking at ourselves and kind of what part we took in whatever happened, right? And so what I want those, because again, right? I mean, we're recording this on Black Love Day. Happy Black Love Day, y'all.
Mm.
When would this be released? I ain't 100% sure.
Yeah.
Maybe this month, maybe not. But the truth is, right? A lot of times around the holidays, a lot of times
Mm-hmm.
early in a year,
Mm-hmm.
people start going,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how so and so is doing, right?
Yeah.
And then you got the hey big head text
Mm-hmm.
messages, or I was thinking about you messages. And so giving people things to look for, right? The rules of engagement, how to rather re-engagement, how to, if this is something you want to consider,
Mm-hmm.
how to do it effectively. You know what I mean? So that, I mean, granted, hopefully y'all. Anyway, what are the things that they can do to effectively re-engage with somebody? What to consider, questions maybe to ask, and then to make a decision before, jumping in.
Well, the first thing I would say, and I know that this is where a lot of pushback comes in, right? When we start talking about spending the block, dating again, shoot, one of my first clients when I got the whole ring thing, right? Before I became a brand, right? There was someone she used to date back in high school,
Mm.
right? Now she's in college, is a different person. There's growth there. He came back around. What happened to us? We had something there. And the first thing I told her is like, listen, y'all going to redate.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what happens a lot of times is people feel like let's just unpause, like let's just resume where we at. And I know you're ready. Like why would I redate you or get to know you? I know you're ready. Or
Mm-hmm.
they get caught up in I knew the past you. And I think that a lot of times we have to now start from scratch in the sense,
Yeah.
like start from scratch in the sense of let's relearn because I may be a different person than I was, or the image you had of me. Things may be different now. Allow me to reintroduce myself. So
Yeah.
having that, right? And then just like infidelity, when that happens, we're gonna have to have the real conversation about what happened. What was the cause of the breakdown that we didn't work? And we have to talk through it. So we don't want to talk about that. Remember that time we went to Great Adventure? Remember that time? But we ain't gonna talk about the time you cheated on me, or you did me, abandoned me, or there's abuse. Like, what happened that caused us to break up?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, what tools are we going to do for it to be different? So how do you work on that? Was it therapy? Was it growth? Are you willing to do couples therapy? Like, what are you willing to do to show me besides breadcrumbing me grand gestures? What character or behavior that you're showing differently that you didn't show before? And then also, once again, by redating, we have to slow walk the dog.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to see, are you just putting a mask on just to get access to me, or is generally something that you learn, we both grow, and we better on the same page? Because I always talk about alignment, right? Even though unrated is alignment assignment. Are we still aligned? So if we broke up because you wanted kids and I didn't want kids, what's now? If it's still a thing, or you feel like you can try to power through it, now we gotta really have honest conversation.
Are you feeling overwhelmed by the demands of life? Motherhood? At AJO Consulting Services, LLC, we offer comprehensive wellness services that include personalized coaching, doula care, consulting, and personal and professional development to help you navigate this beautiful yet challenging phase of life. Our services are designed to support individuals and communities, especially women, birthing people, and families of color, in creating a more joyful and stress-free experience. From family planning to postpartum care, we provide the tools and resources you need to thrive. Let AJO Consulting Services help you prioritize your well-being and create a healthier, happier future for yourself and your family.
Aligned.
Yeah. Yeah.
People want to avoid that. They want to talk about the good parts.
No, and that's true. Like I think after a breakup, you hone in on the bad stuff, right? And you get upset about it, da da da. And then as time passes, and again, you have your experiences, whatever, you forget. It goes somewhere else, I guess. And then when you re-encounter the person and you're thinking about that stuff, baby, I don't function like that. That's number one. I remember the bad. Okay. Like, because there's lessons in that. Like, if you are really doing the work to heal, you have to remember the bad. And that's simply because, not just because you want to think negatively about that person, but you need to learn the lesson that you needed to learn, right?
Yeah.
And what is also for yourself, holding yourself accountable. Like, okay, this stuff happened. Why did you stay? Why didn't you leave? Right? Why did you do this? Why? So you have to go through it to make sure you get the lesson you needed and to heal past it. And that's just how I see it. But definitely a lot of good points. And over, again, this past year or so, as, people been, circling the block again and spinning the block, I've seen different content about, circling the block. And I think a few things that I would add to what you said is what we mentioned earlier. I think the type of encounter or relationship you had with that person prior makes a difference. So if you were just dating that person, again, like you said, high school, or you was just an adult and y'all literally went on a couple dates, like, and then maybe y'all just stopped talking to each other. I don't think this is my person. I didn't feel a spark, whatever. And then for whatever reason, you re-encounter this person. Honestly, to me, that for me personally would be the for sure I would re-engage in that again, unless there was some blaring thing I was like, oh hell to the no, this is a big walking red flag. But if it was like we dated a couple of times and it was like, I just was good off that, whatever, it just never went anywhere. I think it becomes more nuanced and needs a lot more thought when you are in a real committed relationship with that person. Not even thinking about infidelity and all that, but if there is all that, there needs to be some real, go to your therapist and have some conversations about this before you even consider it. Because for one, even if you have, or you thought you have healed through that, encountering this person is going to open up some wounds. Do you even want to deal with that? Right? Do you even want to go there? And there's going to be some difficult conversations that you and that person are going to have before even considering getting back with each other. Like, this is not, oh yeah, let's try this again and then talk. No, it's talk first.
Yeah.
And then see if y'all can get back together. But I think that is definitely missed when people are trying to, re-engage with someone. Again, like what you said, they focus on just the good stuff. Oh, that person made me feel like this, or their sex was like that, or in the beginning it was like that. And that's what you continuously were chasing the last go around. And so I think that's important. I think another aspect is, and this is something that I heard from another coach, and she said that, and I believe that, because this, again, people be just wording things. I be saying shit for years, but the way they word it is just so much more striking. But I think there needs to be significant life changes before considering dating somebody again. And I think that goes for those, again, you guys were in a committed relationship before, and it was for X amount of time, whatever, and then y'all broke up. And I say that to say that people don't change very readily. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not something that people do in a couple of months. Okay. Typically, it takes a while for people to, you know what I mean, have some type of evolution. And so if you dated somebody and y'all been broken up 3 months, no. More than likely, real change didn't happen there. Now, I'm not saying absolutes. I'm not talking absolutes, right? There's always maybe them being away from you for the 3 months really was like, nah, I don't like this shit. I don't never want to do this again. This is you my one. Maybe. But a lot of times, that's not enough time for them to realize, okay, what was your fault? What was their fault? Is this a viable relationship for real? Are you willing to do the work, etc.? So by significant life changes, what she meant was a good significant amount of time have to pass. But also there needs to be some significant life change for that person. Did they encounter maybe a death of someone close to them? Change a job, change location, lose weight. Like something significantly happens to them, because that's when that person is changed, if that makes sense. And so I think then it kind of shifts mindset from what I gather from what she was saying. And I agree with that just from based off of experience, because people just don't like to change, not on their own. Okay. And so if a significant life change has happened, I think it forces people to shift. Now, does that mean that okay, yeah, I'm gonna jump with you. Oh, your mama died. Let's do this. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, if some time passed, and let's use the example, maybe their mom passed away, that might have caused some reflection, right? That might have caused a mentality shift. And that is like, okay, maybe we can talk some more to explore. But again, that varies. That's not a all the time type situation, but I understood where she was coming from it, because a lot of times people don't change. So even if 2 years passed and nothing significant has happened in that person's life, they're still the same person. They're technically gonna see it. They still the same job, still same place, going to the same places, got the same friends, still wearing the same clothes. That person ain't changed. So they're not going to be different for you in this relationship. But if during that time they have had significant shifts, I think their mentality does change. And it's maybe then a conversation can be had, right? Maybe they start therapy. That's a shift in life. And so that's what I think. I think that needs to be considered simply off of human nature, how humans operate. People like they like sameness, right? They like things to be the same. It's comfort. So if things ain't changed, they not forced to change. A lot of people won't change. They just won't. That's why a lot of times a breakup causes people to change. It causes people to be like, oh, now I'm gonna lose this 15 pounds. I'm changing my hair up. I'm gonna get 13 degrees. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Like, because a breakup will glow a woman up, baby. Okay. So that's what I mean by it. So like maybe after the breakup, oh, okay, did that person, he don't lost 20 pounds, girl, he going to the gym. Oh, he started therapy, da 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 da. And then if he circles the block, let's have a conversation. What's up?
It go back to the idea of change behavior and not just pillow talk, right? So it's one thing I always say, like, words are cool, actions breadcrumbing, but the character, the pattern, how you see how it shifts. So just because I'm baby pleasing you and doing the things that you always wanted me to do, that's not necessarily mean that I have changed. So
Yep.
seeing something for a therapy, working out, doing something, career change, like something like show some shift
Mm-hmm.
in mindset, then that's different. But if it's just same on me, it's just loneliness and time, and just feel like you don't hold grudges. So me coming back now, you kind of forgot. And I always tell people it's like almost having a hole in your sweater. You keep it in the closet, you be like, why don't wear the sweater no more? You put it on the the hole in here.
That's why.
That's why. But you ain't fix it, you put it back in the closet and forgot. So that's like sometimes that happens where you forget the reasons why you broke up the person or you don't fuck with the person, but you got caught up in the beginning stage of nostalgia and you like the person, like, why we didn't work out?
Yep.
You all right. And you be like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
And now I had to shift that. So yeah, definitely got to see some behavior changes. But a lot of times we ignore those because the feelings is the feelings.
Mm-hmm.
We feel like we're gonna power through it, or you that's the cliche that I'm not perfect either, blah blah blah. But it's also understanding, owning what happened, showing accountability, and not playing victim blaming,
Mm-hmm.
and really showing that I have changed and I want you back, and I'm willing to do what I need to do. And that's why I tell women it a lot because really the woman, when the guy circle back is the man. I tell women this is the time you use leverage, right?
Yep.
This is like you said, we gotta go to counseling, couples counseling. We got to do certain things to show you really want to inactive. And I was telling somebody today about that whole concept that even if more men are open to therapy, but it's still some pushback, pride and ego. You're gonna double team me. I don't want to go here. And I'm I'm a man's man. But what I'll say is at least try to get a relationship book and have like your own personal book club, and that be kind of like your date night where you talk about a couple of chapters and see what you take from those chapters. So there's where he would do it because he wants you back. So if he don't want to do these things or don't want to put no effort besides just going on dates and grand gestures, then you already know that it could be smoke and mirrors. So that's why we got slow walk the dog.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Definitely a change behavior is a key factor.
Mm-hmm.
And you also mentioned something that's important. Do you ever feel like you need a little guidance, a listening ear, or an unbiased perspective, a confidential space to talk through whatever is on your mind? Our compassionate and trained coaches are here to help you with relationship and family issues, career and professional challenges, stress and anxiety, personal growth and goal setting, and general life advice. We're not here just to give you answers. We're here to empower you with the tools and insights you need to make confident decisions. Your first step towards clarity is just a phone call away. Book your call now at www.ajoconsultingservices.com or click the link in our bio. He might be circling back because he know you like to forgive. You love to give grace.
You got a big heart.
You old faithful, baby.
Yeah, you got a big heart. My
You
heart is so
old faithful. So yeah, I'm gonna keep saying that. And I ain't gonna hold you like this one particular relationship I had. That was the only relationship that I kept circling back, child.
got it.
I was in the place, Lord.
Yeah, got it.
I taught these things because I know I've lived these
Yeah,
things. Okay.
live the life.
So this is why I can help my clients with, baby. I know.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
clinically,
So
and I was in the trenches.
I was in the trenches. Okay. So just again, I was in my, of course, in hindsight. It wasn't even hindsight. At the time, I verbally said this out loud to myself. I know I'm not supposed to be in this place. I'm not supposed to be in this space, but I want to be. Until I wasn't anymore. And I literally dropped the hammer and just slid it at the throat and I was done. It was so swift when I was done. So the thing with that is they knew that a little bit of time and then a little sob story was gonna make me like, okay. And no matter how big talking I was big talking, there was no, seriously, it was mainly because, the fact that that person had a child at the time. Well, at the time, I didn't have kids. That person had a child and I was attached to that child. So my brain would always go like, oh, you know what I mean? But I miss her and we had a connection. It wasn't even about him.
Yeah, I miss the kid. I miss mom. I miss everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got you.
You know, so
Yeah.
yeah. And so they knew, okay, give a little time, let her cool off that stupid shit that I did. She'll forget or whatever the case is. But I don't get twisted. I wasn't healthy either. So let's just make that clear. I was not, because when I dropped that hammer, I made sure he hurt real bad and then I cut it off. So I wasn't a saint. And
Got it. Yeah. You want
I think that also played in the back of my head too. Like, girl, yeah, he did some shit, but you've been doing some shit too. He don't know that. But you
I got you. Like you said, and sometimes that even with the whole spin the block thing, if it was toxic, it was toxic, right? So now if it's a toxic thing that you're just doing things to each other in spite and being petty, then that showed that we just not beating me together. We have some connection, but it turned left. We got to understand that and acknowledge that. All right, I understand.
Well, I grew up in them R&B times. We here.
Yeah.
I always had, I swear, this was always in my like back in my head, always in me. Cause there was always that, oh, the man coming, he's singing, he hurt you, but girl, he's singing to take him back. You better take that man back. So that was always in my head of like, oh, you can break up, but then you always get back together.
As long
Like,
as you show effort and come back. So almost, I always talk about with
yeah.
R&B begging back, but it got to be begging with action. But you got caught in the begging back and believes. All right.
No, I'm being so real. Like that was always something that was in the back of my mind. Like all the time. Like even regardless, I'll get into a relationship and whatever. Okay, something happens, something bad happens. As long as he says sorry, he wants to get back. Okay, because that was ingrained in me. Like it was ingrained in me that was just how it went. And it wasn't until after that real bad toxic. It was like on and off for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, no, that's exhausting. It's draining, right? And why? When you can just go on and find somebody else, you know? And so I think that really gave me a bad taste in my mouth. And, of course, reading, healing, therapy, all that growing. And so when I see other people doing it, there's still a part of me that's like, hell to the no. But if you want to do it, you go on ahead. But it's not that it can never work. It's just really so much more to it that I hope people have taken the time to do and to really, really, really talk out. But my question to you is, in your practice or in your personal, how successful have you seen these circling the blocks? Like, how successful have they been?
Not that successful, right? So the first client, I'll tell you about the early stage before I became this guy. It worked for her. They got like 5 kids, married for like, I want to say probably 12, 13 years now. So that worked for them, right?
Yeah.
But what happens a lot of times is, like you said, nostalgia. We had a kid together, we did this together, and the spin the block feel more familiar because it's easier I guess in their mind, they feel like less the heavyweight. We know each other. We had experience already. I have the family together. Most guys use that circle in black when they had kids. I just want my family back, right? So a lot of that happens. So for me, the odds is not that in our favor because people don't do the work.
Yeah.
To really see, should we even give this a shot, or damage has been done and we should just let bygones be bygones. So yeah, I think that it would increase more if people did the work more.
Yeah.
That work that people hate to do.
And I'm a Leo.
Okay.
And no, I say that to say, they say we have big egos.
The way in the streets, got it.
And so, yeah, I used to partake in that like whole big ego thing of like, there's a track record of people constantly trying to circle back. And I used to be like, oh, and take it as like yeah, I'm that girl. But then it's like, why the fuck you think you can come back over here? Like
the audacity.
Yeah. Audacity. And just like what we've talked about, I think online and offline, but like when you really do the work and you go and then you figure out, girl, why were you here to begin with and all that, you're like, that person ain't even your type no more. It's like, ugh, like what? Yeah, me and my friend was talking about this the other day, like, ew.
Listen, I tell women all the time, they start talking to me about counseling and finding a ring, all that stuff. I let them know, hey, heads up,
Mm.
the more you do the work, the more you fall in love with yourself, it's almost like cleansing your palate. Your palate's going to change. Things that you found attractive, you're not going to find attractive anymore. So your dating pool is going to get smaller. That's why delusion works. That's why people want to get caught up in those things, because once you really understand that, those red flags is too red to ignore.
Yeah.
And you be able to not touch the stove to see if it's hot. You be like, I see what's going on over there. I can see the play.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's part of that is once you really do the work, you may not want that person when they spin the block back. Like, nah, I'm cool. You're not in my speed anymore, homie.
Yeah. And even the relationships that didn't end terribly or
Yeah.
whatever, I still have to this day like two relationships that I'm like, essentially they're the gold standard, right? Of like what I've had in the past.
Mhm.
Even then, I can look back to relationships and see like, okay, there were a lot of good things. We were
Yeah.
young, we were dumb, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if any one of them, and over the years, people have tried or try to,
Yeah.
but whatever. But it always boils down to these two people are like pretty decent men, golden
Mhm.
standard
Mhm.
relationship wise thus far. And I still was like, ugh. You know what I mean? Because you just don't even do it for me no more. I can look back on it and be like,
Yeah.
that was a
I
pretty
find memories, but
decent
it's like, yeah.
experience, right? But you wouldn't even do it for me no more. Like it just wouldn't work out. And I say all that to say because what can happen sometimes is like friends or family, your mom or whatever, be like, oh, what happened to so and so, and then you're like, oh, blah blah blah. They were pretty good. They were a decent guy or this and this, and then I think that causes people to start, oh, yeah, maybe. And whatever the case is, or maybe you tell them, oh, so and so hit me up, da da da,
Mhm.
and they be like, oh, why don't you, and it's like, even if they were decent people,
Mhm.
whatever the case is, when you get what you needed from the situation, there's just something there that just no longer do it for you. It's just like, oh no, I'm good. I'm good off. I'm good off of that.
The window's closed.
Yeah.
There's a window. And now it's like, nah, I'm cool. I'm civil and we have a good time. But as far as spinning the block or engaging in that way, it's not there.
Let's talk about spinning the block in another way. Because
Hmm.
there's different reasons people spin the
Yeah.
block, right? And it could be true, genuine, I want to reconnect with you,
Hmm.
or it's I want to get my lick back.
Yeah. So a lot of times when it comes to this whole spin the block thing, it's level to it, right? Sometimes ego, I just want to see you still dumb.
Yep.
So, but they think especially because I text you at 11:11, like it's not that, right? It's just that I want to see, I have access to you. I'm horny or what it can be. I just want to see, can I still get it? You
Mm-hmm.
acting big and bad. You talking that talk. I see your IG post talking about how healing you are. Let me test that theory, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot of times it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get back in your good graces and I'm gonna hurt you like you hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely. There's times where people be try to play face with you, but they really want to get their lick back
Yep.
and hurt you bad. So yeah, so it's definitely.
My struggles with unexplained infertility, a high-risk pregnancy, postpartum complications, my current struggles with postpartum anxiety, and my continuous advocacy to maintain workplace accommodations have given me a deeper understanding of the challenges women face during such a vulnerable time. My dream is to actively contribute to the reproductive justice movement, reduce Black maternal morbidity, and improve mental health outcomes for prenatal and postpartum women through this work. And that is why I created the Prenatal and Postpartum Supplement Fund. The purpose of this fund is to support women, birthing people, and families. This fund will provide financial assistance during pregnancy and postpartum, helping to supplement women and families' income and alleviate financial stress. By creating such a fund, I hope to contribute to the ongoing healing process for many individuals and families. Please support our mission by contributing a donation today.
This is why you got to weight the risk and really see if there's something valid or it just they just going through the motions.
Mm, hmm
The people do all the time.
Exactly. And I think we get again, people get caught up in egos like, oh yeah, they want me back, or I got the source, whatever. Do you? But let me tell you, the old me, I circle back, but trust me, it was
Yeah,
a plan here.
motherfucker,
I
you
did what I needed to do, and then I was done. And right or wrong,
ahead.
it happened. Okay, so that's also something to think about. Like everybody is not doing that with the best intention, and so keeping that in mind. And again, people be bored.
Yeah,
The streets is dirty. The dating pool is murky.
yeah.
You
And like
know?
I said, they see outside, like, oh, this is horrible here. Let me just circle back and get something safe, something familiar, to get my stuff off, right? So yeah, it's definitely got to be understanding the why. And like you said, people get caught up in ego. I'm special. I'm the one. This person came back, but you have to really look at it like, why are you coming back, and what do you want from me? And
Yeah,
give it time and let it breathe. Back to the end, slow walk that door and really take notes and collect data. It's almost like dating all over again.
exactly. They're a whole new person. You
Yeah.
don't know them. You don't know that man, and you don't know that woman. Okay. All right, Mr. Scott, what are some things that if people ain't hear nothing else and
Yeah.
everything we talked about, that you want them to take away from this conversation if they are considering spinning the block?
First of all, doing the work, right? As far as for you personally, what have you did and what have you grown from that past experience? Is it so traumatizing? What happens to your nervous system? Like you really have to be honest about just because this person coming back and you having these feelings and this nostalgia and you like this person, you maybe still love that person.
Mm.
But you have to be honest with yourself and realize what it's going to take for y'all to get back on the same page, if you ever was, about alignment. I think when it comes to what I said earlier, when it comes to now, you have to redate each other and relearn. And also, back to what we said before we come to dating, don't tell them everything you're looking for
Mm-hmm.
and what things you're looking for. Because then they character again. Really be authentic to yourself, take notes, listen to experiences, people telling yourself all the time, and realize what it looked like. And also, slow walk the door. We have to take our time. Don't rush. Then you can say, I want to be with you, I want to be with you, I want to be with you. You could say, let's see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, when it comes to sex, how are you when it comes to sex? And does sex for you mean something? Because now that for them, they feel like we over that hump. We have sex again, we back. And nah, like if you no, we still dating. I still need to go. I'm not going to sign something off just to sign off on you. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it's going to be a lot of heavy lifting. The odds are not really in your favor about spending the block unless there's some work that's been done that people don't really want to do the work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So even when you do the work, it's discernment. And you may be like, thanks but no thanks.
Right.
But but I feel like it's more better if you now do the work and leverage that about what actions you need, what things you need this go around to even consider it and make it do what it do.
Absolutely. And I would add two things.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let nobody find you in the same place they left you.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I would say is yesterday's price is not today's price. And I said dead ass. And I say that to mean price of entry, what it was when they
Yeah.
would pay you and versus now, don't let it be the same. That shit don't gone up. And if they're not willing to pay the price, baby, let it go.
I'm in for it.
All right, Mr. Scott, let people know where they can find you.
Hey, y'all. So you're going to check me out on all social platforms. Chad Scott here. Because I'm here as a resource and I'm here for the better good.
Thank you so much for this conversation. Thank you for
Anytime.
joining us. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Oasis podcast. I hope you were able to find something that resonated with you on your journey. Don't forget to subscribe anywhere you listen to podcasts and YouTube. Rate us and leave us a review and comment on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, and YouTube. Share your favorite episode and like us on Instagram and Facebook. If you have any questions, comments, want to be a guest, or any show ideas, contact us at ajsoasis@gmail.com. That's AAYJAYSOASIS@gmail.com, or direct message us on Instagram and Facebook.